wanted to talk a little bit about the university and why it was developed. Rotary University was developed to bring Rotary information to Rotarians. You see, Rotary is the oldest, largest, and most influential humanitarian organization in the world. The challenge is this organization is 100 years old. And how do you learn 100 years of history, 100 years of information? And it takes a long, long time to do so. And so with that, we wanted to pull this information together because one of our past governors always said, Doyle McKinney, for those of you that know him and love him, would say, there's never enough Rotary information. That's true. There's never enough Rotary information out there. And so what we did is began to put this information together. Rotary University was developed years ago. Actually, when I served as governor in 2006-07, we actually finally launched it 4 years ago with a pilot. And we thought either this is going to be a good idea or it's not going to be a good idea. It will move on its merits or it won't. And we've had great success. Nearly 70% of our Rotary clubs have participated with Rotary U. We call it Rotary U. And we've had about 125 participants. And nearly half of those, 65, have graduated and gone through all 4 courses. The program is designed really the way that we learn Rotary. So it took over 1,000 hours to put it together. 125 people, about 65 have graduated and now are a member of the prestigious Rotary U alums. Now that's a whole different group of folks that have something in common. They've gone through the program and they then give input and help bring Rotary U up to the next level. So we take all the evaluations seriously and we consider them, and in fact that's why it's no longer 8 to 5, it's 8 to 3:30 because as you mentioned during the induction, Rotarians are busy people, and to give up a Saturday, well, all day is a tough thing to do, especially being away from a family also. So we've changed over time, again moving us up to the next level. We're very proud what we've done, and if we talk about inspiration, inspiration comes from basically 2 things. Positive inspiration. Sometimes inspiration comes out of challenges, and Rotary U would actually be under that category. What I found with Rotary is that in many clubs, leadership doesn't always support Rotarians learning much beyond the club level. And so if you are an individual that has a calling to serve beyond the club level, oftentimes it might be discouraged at the club level to stay involved at the club level. In fact, I had my own experience with that. Our club was that way, and once I served as president of the club, then the year after, Governor Frew asked me to serve as the governor's representative, which would now be an assistant governor. And this whole world opened up to me that I didn't even know existed. And the more I learned, going to the conventions and all, there's so much to Rotary. Again, this organization is awesome. It's dynamic because it changes. Again, the leadership changes every year, and because of that, we are able to stay up with the times. We're flexible, and again, it takes years, though, to learn it. So what we did is we began to put this together, and we took, basically it's the path of Rotarians. Rotarians generally join Rotary. They get very involved in their own club. They learn about the club, and they understand the basics. Just getting used to the acronyms is one of our challenges. GSE, really, you'll learn all these. Rotary, you can go on and on and on. So we learn the basics, the fundamentals. From that point, then we learn how the clubs operate. Many folks then move up into club leadership. And from that point, after, say they serve as president, they may go beyond the club. In fact, one of the responsibilities of a club president and the district governors is to identify future leaders. I always say future leaders present themselves. So all you have to do is watch and you'll see them developing. And so after the club, then we get involved at the, say, at the district level. Now, Howard's a little unusual in this regard. We had a discussion about that right off. Yet getting involved in the district level, now you often have the opportunity to work with the governor's team to help support the clubs. And then beyond that, of course, is the international, or what we call global level. And so what we did is we took all this history and Rotary information, divided it up into 4 areas, and we didn't want to have a lot of overlap, that it would be interesting and informative, have a lot of knowledge, gain from this and go from one to the other, which is the way most of us learn Rotary. We get engaged, we get involved, one day something happens, and we no longer are a member of Rotary, we become a Rotarian. There's something in us that changes, and when we get engaged. And I would suggest that if you knew what we teach at Rotary U from the beginning of your Rotary career, you would make different decisions. You'd make different decisions about the things you're passionate about, and you would know how to get those things done. So that's what we've done. That's how we organized it. So again, first we start with Rotary Basics. Now, Rotary Basics start at the beginning with a boy who was raised in a small town. And then he went to live with his grandparents. Later, very smart individual. Later on, went to college, got a law degree. Took about 5 years to tour the United States, do a lot of odd jobs. Ended up in Chicago to open up his law firm, and that's where our founder, Paul P. Harris, and you'll learn what the P is in Rotary University, had a vision. He was inspired, and he had a friend named Bob Parks who used to walk with him in Chicago, and he knew all the store owners. And Paul said, that's amazing because I'm from a small town and you know everybody. Wouldn't it be, there must be a number of people that come to large cities that would like to bond with a group, become a family, get friends, fellowship. And so Rotary was founded on the premise of 2 things. One is fellowship, which is key to what we do. And then initially it was going to be business networking, yet at the very first meeting they decided they would be a service organization. And so our founder, Paul Harris, is covered extensively in Rotary Basics, Paul Harris's life, and we go through the timeline from when he was born all the way through to his passing. And then we also discuss the timeline of Rotary events, which has made us the organization that we are today. So we travel through all the milestones of Rotary, when the foundation was developed, when we became Rotary International, all these things. Then what we discuss is what we call our guiding principles. And those are our code of ethics, our mottos, service above self, these types of things, and in detail. So when someone's attended Basics, they pretty much have a very good foundation of what Rotary is all about. Now, you might think that new members are the only ones that attend Basics. However, those folks that have attended range from their first week in Rotary to 35 years in Rotary. Because we're dynamic and we do continue to change, what happens is those that have been in Rotary a long time have the opportunity to be brought up to date on new things that are happening as well. So that's the first part, Rotary Basics. The next part, and the next program, is Club Operations, or what we call Club Ops. Club Operations covers the functioning of healthy and effective Rotary clubs. And as with the clubs, the clubs are the cornerstone of Rotary. It is the heart of Rotary. Clubs enjoy a lot of autonomy. In fact, many times you'll go to a Rotary club, say in Paris, and then you may make up a Rotary club meeting in Mount Vernon, and the culture will be incredibly different. We're all a member of the same organization, yet at the same time we're very, very different, and we enjoy that difference. So with the clubs, we understand the structure of the clubs, the policy, the procedures, the leadership, the duties of the individuals that take on those leadership roles, committees, and the functioning of that club as far as the budget and training And in addition to the Rotary Foundation, of course we cover the Rotary Foundation in basics as well, but we get deeper into the Rotary Foundation and giving, the goals of the clubs, and how the clubs then interface with the districts and with Rotary International. So we spend a lot of time, again, with the clubs and the structure, because again, that's the heart of Rotary there. Also, the next thing we do is we work with the districts. Now, the district governor, as you know in Rotary, most officers in Rotary serve for 1 year, all the way up to the president of Rotary. The governor serves 1 year, and you have so many governors as a part of your club, which is really extraordinary. And with that, the governor has certain responsibilities and duties as well. One thing is to build up the committees and those folks that will support that governor during their year or that year as governor. The governor is the only officer in the district at any one time. They're an officer of Rotary International, and they will then go about building a team of 100 to 150 people that will support them during their journey as governor. And so we talk about the governor's responsibilities and those folks that will support the governor, the treasurer for the district, the secretary, and the head of the Rotary Foundation, and all the committees that we have. The one objective, or the main objective of the district governor, is to support the clubs. That is the main goal of the governor. And so with that, the governor's position is important. And again, there's lots of training, and you'll know with your members, of course, as you become governor, there's lots of training. You continue while you're governor, and then after you're governor, there's continued to be training for years that you have available at many of the events that are happening around the world. All right, and then that's the district governor, or the what we call district ops, and then finally global ops. And I love this part particularly, especially with all the talk about traveling in here today. And I don't know how many countries do you know that you've been to? 22 countries. 100. Okay. Extraordinary. All right, so then we talk about Rotary at the highest levels, which means the Office of the Presidency, and then all the directors, the Rotary Foundation, those people that make up our board, and the structure, and who does what, and what their responsibilities are. We talk about the committees that the Rotary International president develops to support the president at that level during their year as president of Rotary International. We also discuss the world headquarters, the languages that we speak, the zones. You were sharing, David, information about the zones. Also our Council on Legislation, which is our parliament, talk about how that works. In addition to that, our relationship with the world, our relationship to the United Nations, and we help charter the United Nations. In addition, our efforts with the Polio Plus program. And much of our work with the Rotary Foundation, the funds that we raise, and for all of you that give, every dollar is important. And we've done extraordinary things. One thing would be our Rotary, the Polio Plus project, which is the largest global health initiative in history. And it was formed by Rotary, which is a great achievement. We also discuss women in Rotary. Not to create any waves. Yet for those clubs, as we were discussing earlier, that don't yet have women, they found that women came in and actually do a lot of great work as well. Public image of Rotary, and then also resources. One thing is Rotary is so immense. Part of it is just knowing where to go if you want to get something done. And what I love about Rotary, and I truly believe this, and Linda, I guess maybe if we had discussed this, you'd probably agree. I believe in Rotary, you're 3 phone calls away from contacting almost anyone in the world. Contacting a district or a director, to getting to the people that you need to if you're interested in a project or a fund, a program or so. All right, I'm just trying to hit some highlights, so pardon all the papers. We put together, thank you. We put together 2 different semesters, one in the fall and one in the spring. And the dates that are coming up, again, September 19th, October 17th, November 14th, and December 5th. We break out into groups, smaller groups, where the attendees get to interface. And again, for a new Rotarian particularly, this is great to learn about other clubs and the things that other clubs are doing. A lot of great ideas. We do break for lunch. We've changed our hours. So in order to go from 8 to 3:30 rather than to 5, we have a working lunch. We talk about projects, we talk about fundraising. And also, we've got some speakers come in, but we cut their time shorter. So that, again, we can respect your time and get you out of there. We have a lot of fun. You meet a lot of great people who become friends. Some of our past governors coming in to speak. And again, I hope over time that more and more governors get involved. That's my goal, that they come and go through the program and become our speakers. So the good news is I'm very proud to say that last year everyone that was selected by their club, they put in their name for a governor nomination, everyone was an attendee of Rotary U, which is really exciting. And now, again, more and more, the clubs are requesting or requiring their new members to go to basics, and they're paying for it. So that's happening in a very nice way. We're going to do something new. We're going to try a meeting up at the Red River. So that's the one area that hasn't come into the Dallas area. We meet at SMU and at the main location. And we're going to go up there and do a special program for the Red River. All right, all I would like to say is thank you for having me today. Thank you for you folks at home, President Rick, and for all of you that have attended Rotary U, appreciate you being there, and those of you that will. And if there's anything I can do to be available to you, I would be happy to. And it's a great program. And again, the alums are the ones that are making it better and better, because they're the ones that come back, give us the ideas. We incorporate those, we test them out, we see if it works, and they've been a great asset for us as well. So thanks for having me today.